G'day everyone, Uncle Jojo, Wominjeka to another rip-roaring episode. I have been asked heaps of questions about how much it costs to do a renovation extension, why a renovation and or extension can cost so much more than a brand new build. So currently we're doing a 3rd story extension on an existing home and a renovation on the existing structure. So what I'm going to do is take you with me and we're going to go checkity checking it out, and I'll show you why it costs so much more to be doing a reno and extension on an existing property. Firstly, when we're doing renos extensions, we need to make sure that the existing structure is okay. If it's not okay, or structurally sound as we like to call it in the industry, then we need to bring it up to standard. Sometimes that involves steel brackets, and we need to make up jigs. So this is a jig that we've made up for a couple of the steel brackets. Other things that we need to do is, as we cut into walls, we find things that we didn't know existed, problems, also what's known as opening up a can of worms, power cords, things that haven't been done to standard 30, 40, 50 odd years ago that now need to be brought up to standard. And there's also, on top of all of that, the town planning that we need to stick to, or the planning terms and conditions, how the end product of the look of the build needs to be, and how it fits in with the surrounding environment. Infrastructure is a big part of that, the infrastructure that's going on in the community and with the council. As I said, we're doing a 3rd story, and part of this is the bracket system that we've made up that we had to create a jig for. Now that beam then spans all the way over to the other side, and then we've got another bracket. We've got another bracket over here, but I'll pop downstairs and I'll show you that. Another thing is this area here is all being opened up. So we've made up a temporary handrail, which we've got here. We've taken it down just so we can continue works around this area. But you can see that this existing brickwork's popping, and then we've got all of these cracks that are opening inside this. So what we're going to do is we're going to install what's called tie rods. And those tie rods will go all the way through here. They get ground in. Then they get a special grouting solution put inside that, and then we'll render it, and then we'll paint over the whole thing and make it all blend in with the rest of the wall. So each one of those things takes a little bit of extra time. Manual labouring, we've got all of our timbers that are coming up. They've got to come up 3 stories, and we've made up pulley systems, as well as got a scaffold installed. Now that scaffold has to be installed to the Australian standard, and it has to be able to withstand additional weight put onto it as we bring materials up and let materials down, especially when it comes to weight of glass and when we're installing windows and doors and structures, as the weight of glass can be quite excessive and people don't realise the additional weight that puts onto structure as well as scaffolding. Here on the 2nd floor, you can see that we've had to make up brackets for all of the existing timbers, and we've had to bring up old timbers to a new standard so it can take any downward pressure that sits on top of it. If we swing around and we go for a quick walk through where we've done all of our cutting in, you can see the additional man hours that's involved with cutting in a beam that's specially designed for load and for structure. So this will have some angle that comes here, and then these joists will then get tied into this also. All of these details have been specially designed and engineered to make sure that as we're working on the structure, we're able to tie it through. The last thing you want to be able to do is cut through certain areas and then make them structurally unsound for workers and for people that are bringing in additional materials. Another big thing on a site like this is site access. So this is a super tight site. We only have front and rear access. There's nothing that we can get down either sides, as both neighbours are right up against the boundary lines on both sides. Due to that, everything has to be manually brought upstairs, and anything that we demolish on the top floor needs to be removed safely and efficiently. So it's one of those things where we need to make sure that we've got everything organised, materials are going off-site as new materials are coming on-site. That takes additional person hours if there's a lot of people around, and there's also the safety element of all of that as well, making sure we've got scaffolds in place. If we need crane trucks or if we need traffic management or any of those things, they all play a little part in the big picture of the costs and the efficiency of creating a renovation and or extension. If you've got any questions or queries about renos, extensions and costs and stuff, flick them over and I'll answer them for you best I can whenever I can. Thanks for watching, and like always, stay unreal banana peel. I'll see you in the soup.